Welcome to the East End. I'm Erin Colton.
And I'm Joe Arena.
We've got lots to see this weekend.
And while you're exploring it all with us, don't forget to play along in our East End trivia game. You'll see questions pop up during the show. Scan that QR code and submit your answers at the end of the program for a chance to win some East End swag. Well, our first stop takes us to an East End landmark that's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, from penguins to pufferfish, sharks and stingrays. At the Long Island Aquarium, you can get up close and personal with them all.
It's great year-round. This is a great place.
For 25 years, the Long Island Aquarium has been wowing millions of visitors on Long Island's East End.
Well, it's exciting. The screeching from the young kids when they come in. Everybody loves penguins. You can dive with a shark here. You can come in and feed stingrays. There's not many other places. You might be able to do it in the Bahamas, but you're doing it right here at home on Long Island.
And that's why the aquarium is so unique. A getaway adventure, seeing, touching, and feeding animals you won't find in many places across the country.
We're not only a place for entertainment, I like to call it edutainment, so people can come, they can get some education, they can learn about these amazing animals.
Hi, nice to meet you. I spent the day exploring every exhibit, meeting all the animals and the people who take care of them.
This is our butterfly habitat.
It feels tropical in here. I mean, it's cold outside, but in here, wow.
It's always about 80 degrees in here, so it's pretty nice over the winters. This is our golden birdwing butterfly. We actually only see this guy 2, maybe 3 times a year if we're lucky. We'll have up to 175 different butterfly and moth species, so you're always gonna see something new when you're walking into the room. We have our bug encounters, which is a private experience where you actually come behind the scenes with us and work with our entomologists in our lab.
I also got an up-close encounter with the stingrays.
The ones you're going to be feeding are called cow-nosed stingrays. Then you're going to put your hand flat on the wall and let them swim right over your hand. And it's going to feel like a vacuum cleaner is pulling the fish from you.
Okay, here we go.
So, now I got a lot of friends.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put my...
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they're super friendly.
There they go, they took it right out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, everyone's coming. Everyone's coming. Here at the turtle tank, is that what it's called?
We call it our turtle bay.
Turtle Bay, that sounds better.
Yes.
What kind of turtles are these?
We have a variety of turtles. Most commonly, though, we have red-eared sliders. The guests here are allowed to feed them turtle pellets.
The penguins are one of the main attractions here.
They're just a lot of fun to watch. We offer penguin selfies, so it's a photo session with the penguins. That can be done with any age, so even the little ones can get involved with that.
We have a fishing cat, which is a rare, exotic, looks like a leopard. Rare cat on the watch list or endangered list. We're fortunate to have it. Very few aquariums in the country have them.
And one of the most exciting things to do at the aquarium is dive with the sharks.
It's really a unique experience. You have a dive master, you don't need to be any certification. You're going with somebody that's very experienced. We have a tender that's communicating with you. You go in with another guest or friend of yours. You're in a wetsuit, and the solitude that you feel in that water, and then you're just there, and the menacing sharks are swimming around you.
If sharks aren't daring enough, how about a 9-foot, 40-pound Burmese python? So this is Noodle.
Noodle, yep.
Noodle's heavy.
Yeah, a lot of people, they think that snakes are slimy, that they have this slime to them, but as you can see, not slimy at all.
Not
actually
slimy at
very,
all.
very smooth.
For kids that come in and they can kind of see this up close, and if they have a passion for reptiles, how cool is that for you to see?
Oh, it's amazing. It's one of my favorite things about the job.
The last stop of the day was the Sea Lion Show, where I met the star, Neela.
You're gonna just say, Neela, talk, and you're gonna wiggle your finger like this up in the air.
Okay.
All right, you can go for it.
All right. Neela, talk. Neela, roll.
Good, Neela, girl. Here, why don't you give her that big fish? Just drop it right there. Perfect. She loves giving kisses.
What do I do? Do I go my cheek or like my lips?
You can do it. Cheek is better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Give a kiss.
The kids can run around safely in this open space, and they're just loving the colors, taking it all in. I love that the public really appreciates that and takes it all in and enjoys what those animals offer.
And it's such a hands-on experience every time, no matter who you are, when you go, you can do all those things.
Hands-on, great for the kids, especially during the winter, too.
Yep, with break coming up. All right, well, from the water to now the land, and a few miles down the road from the aquarium is a place where plants truly come to life.
And eventually, they make their way to your plate. I got a flavor-filled tour in Riverhead.
It's like Willy Wonka and Indiana Jones met each other.
Nicholas Mazzard may not be running a magical chocolate factory, but he is in charge of Flavour Fields, a place that produces microgreens.
The idea actually originated in Japan, where they were doing young shoot of radishes that they use for sushi, and that's how the idea started. Microgreens are babies, young shoot, like 2 weeks old, of regular plants. So you have cilantro, you have microgreens that taste like wasabi, some radish, basil, arugula, many different type of flavors.
And the part of the job where Willy Wonka meets Indiana Jones, Nicholas says, is unlocking flavors from the past.
We look for all the heirloom varieties of herb that used to exist like 100, 200 years ago.
But it's a state-of-the-art operation everywhere you look at their 62-acre, 100,000-square-foot facility. They started out in Cutchogue almost 20 years ago and expanded due to their popularity. Now today, they grow these tiny edible plants hydroponically. That means without soil. Instead, these nutrient-rich beds of growing tubes are used along with the right amount of humidity and temperature to yield their crop. And if you're ever out for an evening drive along the North Fork in Riverhead, this room will look like it's glowing red. The optimum spectrum for plant growth and a beautiful view from the outside. Nicholas and his staff are growing 70 different varieties of microgreens and edible flowers. And our taste test today was packed with some of the boldest and most memorable flavors they have to offer.
So this one, we call it the butterfly leaves, and it tastes like a Granny Smith apple.
That's a Granny Smith apple. Tart, tart!
Just take a small bite of it, a tiny bite, and keep chewing it. So it's not a flavor, it's a sensation. It's feels like Pop Rocks.
Wow! And I just took the tiniest
tiny
amount.
bit.
My tongue is going through a process right now I can't even describe.
And this one, you can eat it, and it's more like citrusy, like a kumquat a little bit.
Yeah, I just bit into summer right there.
This one, you call it Blink Blossom.
Oh, this looks pretty. Wow. Oh boy. It's subtle though. It's not like over salty, but it's salty.
But it's not beautiful?
No, that is so smooth. And it's easy to see why so many chefs are eager to work with these microgreens that you can also order online at wecook.com.
We also do edible flowers, so if you want to deliver like all the top restaurants, we look for extreme flavor. So it's not only a garnish.
Unlike the microgreens, the edible flowers are grown in this greenhouse.
Here we have all the edible flowers I was talking to you about. So you have the microgreens that are grown hydroponically, so there's no soil. All those ones, all the flowers, they are grown in dirt because they are longer term crops, so it will be like 3 to 4 months to grow.
After sampling the products, Nicholas thought it was time to put me to work. The task, to harvest some of these beautiful flowers. I've worn many hairnets. This is a good quality hairnet. Besides the hairnet, gloves, and apron, what you also need to know is when these gorgeous flowers are ready to be picked. If the flower bud is open, it's time. Harvesters then fill one of these boxes with 50 flowers each. Nicholas decided to pit me up against one of his best workers, Sarah.
1, 2, 3, go. Oh God, he killed one plant already. Gonna send the bill to New 12.
She's already done. I'm still boxing. She wins. You win. Good job. And it's not just the employees working hard. Nicholas has deployed thousands of bugs to protect his crops.
That's the one who's going to be eating the parasite of the plants. Is what they call biological crop protection.
A farm where it's all happening inside, but constantly thinking outside the box, and a game plan that's working.
We started as the underdog over like 16 years ago. Now we are, I would say, the largest privately owned microgreen grower in the US. So I'm very proud of that.
Just a real neat experience, and they taste pretty good.
I didn't know all of that. That was so cool.
Yeah.
All right. still ahead.
Just being able to sit here, relax, and overlook the Peconic Bay is definitely something that everyone should experience.
Make a winter escape to Southold, where you can visit a lighthouse and a vineyard all in the same day.
Long Island's East End is filled with picture-perfect towns where you can escape those winter blues.
Like here in Southold, where you can tour a lighthouse or cozy up at a local coffee house. There's so much to do, it's easy to spend a whole weekend.
And if you stay the night at the Shoals, you'll find luxury accommodations with classic North Fork charm.
Walking in, guests are just wowed by the property.
Tucked away on a marina overlooking the gorgeous Peconic Bay, the Shoals is a waterfront hotel on the North Fork of Long Island's East End.
Just being able to sit here, relax, and overlook the Peconic Bay is definitely something that everyone should experience.
And what's different about this place to stay in Southold is that it's actually a boatel, a place for people who have boats to ride right up and park.
We do have 20 apartment-style hotel rooms and suites, and then we do also have the boat slips here. We have 20 of those as well. This is where guests can come in, enjoy a bottle of wine from us, sit and relax, and kind of just enjoy the scenery. It's made for the comfort and that higher end style.
Guests can also enjoy oysters in the Oyster Lounge with a unique partnership with a local company next door.
We do sit very close to Little Ram Company. They actually will shuck oysters for our guests that do purchase them. This is our garden suite, king room.
Wow, this is great.
This is where our guests can sit and enjoy time with each other as well as watch TV, their king-size bed, as well as our kitchenette.
I mean, this place has got to be hopping during the summertime, but the wintertime, it just looks like such a cozy place to stay.
This is our Grand Shoals Suite, and we do offer the 2 bedrooms. It's a king and a queen. It has 2 bathrooms. During the winter, we have families come just to even do a staycation here as well.
A perfect spot for that wintertime East End getaway.
There are many different dining places in Southold that you can do, and of course the town of Southold, and just walking through all the little shops that are here on the North Fork.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, Southold is a key destination on the North Fork Wine Trail, and that includes Duck Walk, Sparkling Point, and Old Field Vineyards. Here, you can sample wine in an 1860s barn tasting room. There are many vineyards on the North Fork, but you have to try hard to find one that has more down-on-the-farm feel than Old Field Vineyard. The farm was purchased back in 1918, owned by Rosamond Bays' husband's family. Eventually, the couple would own it themselves.
All of a sudden, I'm here, and my husband's going into the city, and I'm trying to learn how to plant vines. Hello?
In 1974, the first vineyard was planted, but Roz says she wasn't on her own during the learning process. Help came from a nearby winery in Peconic.
Sam McCullough from Lens, and of course Eric Fry, who was the winemaker at Lens. And those 2 people were my mentors all the way through, teaching me how to do it.
Okay.
Fast forward to today, Roz and her daughter Perry continue to make a handful of wines, 8 of them, and only about 1,000 cases a year.
We were one of the first Cabernet Francs to come out as a solo grape, and we're very proud of that.
And where the wine is aged here on the farm is something I got to see. Once a month, Perry tops off these barrels, and for a very good reason. There's a certain amount of evaporation that takes place, and if this process doesn't happen...
Too much air is bad.
Okay.
The wine kind of starts to break down, and you can make something that's called vinegar. And so we want to make wine, not vinegar.
So that means siphoning the wine from a jug, then topping off the barrels, something I got a mouthful of.
There, and you're going to have a sip of that wine, too. We're much more of that mellow kind of vineyards. It's a great cozy spot. Made it so that people can relax.
We are absolutely shoulder to shoulder in everything that we do. I'm very proud of our relationship because we do really well. We can yell at each other and then get back to work.
And Joe, while you're here for a long weekend, try going to Main Road. Check out all the cool shops there. And then right up the road, you'll find North Fork Roasting Company, where they're serving up more than just cappuccinos.
We we have our fireplace and a cozy sitting area. That's where our baristas are, greeting you when you come in, and they care that you have a good experience.
There's nothing like a good cup of coffee to start your day. And when it's at North Fork Roasting Company in Southold, it's at a whole other level.
Everybody's coming from different walks of life and gathering around the fire this time of year.
Jenny Lee Morris always had a love for coffee, and when the spot for No-Fo Roco popped up, she had to follow her brewing dreams. You really feel like you're walking into a home than walking into a coffee shop.
Yes, at one point it was a home. Many, many years ago, pop into this room and study, or you can have a meeting in this room. We have a small room for kids that we just put a bunch of toys in. We are specialty roasters. We source all of our coffee from all over the world. We make sure that we buy the highest quality beans and we roast them properly.
And as soon as you walk in the door, you see the roasting in action. I know this is how coffee's made, but I've never seen one like this.
This is a drum roaster. This is the heart and soul of our business. We roast them and grind them, and then that turns into coffee.
So it goes from this color to eventually that color.
Yes, exactly. It's literally from seed to cup. We get the beans, the seeds, we roast them ourselves, and then bring them literally right over there to the bar and grind it and make your coffee.
We do a macchiato, we do a cappuccino, lattes. We pride ourselves on our chai latte. We make a dirty chai, which is a shot of espresso in it.
And not only does the finished product taste great, it can also look like a work of art as well. I've always wanted to be someone who kind of really knew how to do this, but it just seems so hard.
So whenever you're doing latte art and doing drinks, when you're pulling an espresso, there's something on top called the crema. When you're pouring the milk into the beverage, it's gonna have the foam on top and then the crema setting on top. We can tailor it to what everybody likes.
And the fact that that can put a smile on someone's face?
It's pretty awesome. I love it.
Why is this place so special?
It's the people.
It's more than just a coffee shop.
It's beyond me. I love all the people here. They wear their hearts on their sleeves and it just feels so beautiful.
To see more of our Southold getaway guide, just scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen. Still ahead.
It's unique. It's almost like a museum of vintage items.
Go back in time at a North Fork shop that feels more like a museum. Welcome back to the East End. Well, it's a vintage shop on the East End with over 50 years of memories inside.
We take you to the Jamesport Country Store, an iconic spot with a whole lot of history.
It's unique. It's almost like a museum of vintage items. I'm Howie Waldman, owner of the Jamesport Country Store. We're located right on the main road here in Jamesport. We've been here going on 51 years. This building used to belong to Ma Bell, New York Telephone Company. Built in 1922. It was called a switching station. My mother's name was Eleanor Waldman. She started this store in 1973. She worked up the island and she wanted to own a gift shop. And we came up with the Jamesport Country Store. I was a funeral director in New York City for Frank Campbell's on Madison Avenue. When I retired, it was time to take over the store. My mother had passed away in 1983. I came on here full-time in 1989. Home decor is a big item here. We carry a lot of vintage items. This was the front of the bumper from a 1950 Ford. It's a piece of art. We sell some vintage art, food items. We support the local artisans on the North Fork. We carry jams and jellies. Chocolates are made on Long Island for us. We try and carry a lot of retro candy, so it brings people back to childhood, kind of like a museum of growing up. We have a lot of old signs. At one time, there were 166 duck farms on Long Island, and there were 300 original signs made. We copied one of them. It's a neat sign. After almost 52 years, we have a lot of regulars. All right, thank you very much, sir. A lot of new folks coming in, too. Don't wait 51 years to come back. Every day I'm meeting somebody new and interesting. I treat everybody as if they spend $1 million here, whether they bought anything or not. I'm a people person. I've got to be around people, and this certainly makes me happy.
The cool thing about this place is that every time you go in there, you notice something new or different.
I love places like that.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's awesome. All right, time now to check your answers on our East End Trivia game. If you've been playing along, scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen, submit your answers, and you might just win some East End swag.
You'll also find more information on our website about all the places we've explored in this episode.
And while you're there, let us know about your favorite places to visit on the East End, from the lavish to the local.
Because it just may be our next adventure. See you next time.